Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be doing an updated comparison of the language apps from Memrise and Pimsleur, two pretty different programs. I did a side-by-side comparison video of Pimsleur and Memrise a little over a year ago now, but since then both companies have changed their apps and added new features, so I thought it was time for a new updated review video. So that's exactly what we're going to do today, recompare Pimsleur and Memrise side by side and tell you which one I think is better. And by the way, I should just mention up front here that since I'll just be focusing on higher level stuff in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written comparison over on our website of these two apps. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight, Memrise versus Pimsleur. It's the quickest way to find it. Okay, so right out of the gate, I want to provide a high level overview of how each app works before diving into each program's pros and cons. I think this will help to provide some context. So let's start with Memrise, then I'll break down Pimsleur. Memrise has a pretty unique course structure. Rather than having a really strict learning path like you get with other apps where lessons build on one another and you work through them in a very ordered way, Memrise has a bunch of different courses which are generated by both the Memrise team and by other Memrise users. And you can kind of pick and choose which course you want to take. For Spanish, for example, you can start with Memrise's Spanish 1 course or pick a random user-generated course if you want. The structure is just more free-flowing. Then, once you do choose a course, even the lessons are a little different. Rather than having modular lessons that are a certain length, you pick how many words you want to learn per day, then you do your daily sessions and learn that many words. And as for the exercises in each session to teach you those words, it's pretty varied. There's short video clips, listening drills, typing exercises, matching word pairs, and a few more standard type exercises. And that's Memrise from a high level view. I mean, you choose a course, set your daily word goal, and start learning with some rapid fire drills and exercises. Now, like I already said, Pimsleur is very different from Memrise. The Pimsleur program is driven by audio lessons. To start each unit, you complete a 30-minute audio exercise where a moderator speaking in English walks you through a guided conversation step by step. You listen to a few phrases or sentences in your target language. The moderator will then briefly stop to explain the situation to you and what you just heard. Then he'll have you participate by answering questions and repeating phrases. These 30-minute audio exercises are the groundwork of the Pimsleur lessons. Everything is built around them. Then, after the audio lesson, you review and reinforce what you just learned through a variety of drills and exercises. Think of these drills as homework after class. These reinforcement exercises include reading drills, digital flashcards, quizzes, pronunciation training, and speed games. Plus, there are some supplemental features too, like vocab bonus packs and speaking challenges with their voice coach tool. And that's Pimsleur from a high level. Core audio lessons followed by detailed review exercises with a few supplemental tools wrapped around it. And that's how the two companies generally compare. Your main takeaway should be that these two programs are very different. The Pimsleur lessons take around an hour to complete from start to finish and place a very strong emphasis on listening and speaking in the context of mock conversations, while the Memrise program is more about learning new words and vocab through rapid fire drills and various courses. And by the way, if you want to see examples of the lessons or drills from both companies, be sure to check out that full detailed written comparison that I mentioned. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Alright, so before we jump straight into talking about what I like and don't like about each app, let's quickly talk about cost. So Memrise has a pretty simple pricing model. There are 3 different plans. You can pay monthly as you go, that's $8.50 per month. Then there's an annual subscription that costs $60 per year, or you can buy a lifetime membership for $120. Then Pimsleur also has a couple different plans, both of which are monthly pay-as-you-go subscription options. First, there's Pimsleur Premium, which gets you access to 1 language. That costs $20 per month. Or there's Pimsleur All Access that gets you access to all 51 of Pimsleur's languages and costs just $1 more per month, i.e. $21 a month. So stacking these two apps up side by side, obviously Memrise is more affordable and by a pretty good margin. It's literally $12 to $15 per month cheaper. Though I would just note that Pimsleur is pretty good about running discounts where you can lock in a lower rate, so be sure to check for coupon codes before buying. I'll toss any current discount codes or links that I can find down in the description for you. And for Pimsleur specifically, they actually have a 7-day free trial where you can test out their program before dropping any money. I would actually recommend doing just that before buying. Try it out for a few days and make sure you like their audio lessons. I'll have a link to that free trial down below in the description, so make sure to check out that text and link on over for the free trial if Pimsleur sounds like it might be the right fit for you between these two. Alright, so now that we've covered how each app works and pricing, let's get into the pros and cons of each program. And let's start with Pimsleur. The first highlight of the Pimsleur program is that they're better at jumpstarting your conversational skills. One of the most effective ways of learning a language is getting frequent, heavy doses of verbalization. You need to consistently hear and speak the new language that you're learning to get comfortable with it, and Pimsleur offers way more opportunity to do that than Memrise. The reality is that Memrise is more of a vocab tool, teaching you a bunch of new words and phrases, but not helping you string them together in conversations. In contrast, the Pimsleur audio exercises are great at developing your listening and speaking skills since you get daily doses of real conversations with their audio lessons. I'm a huge proponent of language apps with audio lessons, and Pimsleur's are some of the best. Then, my second highlight for Pimsleur also relates to those audio lessons. Because the audio lessons are obviously audio-based, they're a lot more flexible than Memrise's lessons in terms of when and how you can work them. Basically, for the audio portion of each Pimsleur lesson, you're not tied to your phone. You don't have to be staring at a screen, watching videos, matching word pairs, or typing phrases in. With the audio lessons, you can hit the play button and go about whatever you're doing. You can do lessons while you're on the Peloton, folding laundry, taking a walk, whatever. Basically, I just like that you can be productive with your time while still doing a lesson. It's a huge bonus. You can even do a lesson while you're driving because they have a special driving mode. It's a really nice feature. Then, third, I want to call out Pimsleur's voice coach feature. In the last year or so maybe, Pimsleur has rolled out a new voice recognition software tool that by all measures so far is great. The program listens to you say words and phrases and then gives you feedback on your pronunciation on a grading system. Honestly, the accuracy of the feedback is really strong. When you say something wrong, it'll tell you with a poor grade, usually just 1 star. And one feature that I especially like about it is challenge mode. When you turn this on, you'll be prompted in English to say a phrase in your target language with no hint as to how to say it. So it makes you think critically about what to say, plus you still need to nail your pronunciation. It's difficult, but very, very helpful. Given that Memrise doesn't really have any speech software tools like this is a major advantage for Pimsleur. And lastly, my final quick win for Pimsleur is that they have a better interface and user experience than Memrise. The Pimsleur digital platform is one of the quickest and sleekest apps we've tested. Everything is just easy to navigate, fast, and just plain pretty for what that's worth. Don't get me wrong, Memrise's user experience isn't bad, but it's just nowhere near Pimsleur's in terms of quality. It's honestly about the best in the space. Anyway though, that's Pimsleur and what I like about their program over Memrise. So now let's get to Memrise's wins. But before I hit you with that, I do just want to mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's really, really easy to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description on how to get entered, but just know, it takes like 10 seconds and you never know. You could win a totally free subscription to Pimsleur or Memrise. Okay, Memrise's wins. So, the first advantage of the Memrise program that I want to highlight is their use of video. There are a bunch of short video clips throughout the Memrise exercises that show fluent speakers saying the words and phrases that you're learning. To me, this is a major advantage for Memrise as it's something missing from the Pimsleur program. With Pimsleur, there aren't many visuals in the app, and definitely no video. And personally, I think video is a powerful teaching tool. You get to see fluent speakers' body language, facial expressions, and have a visual memory aid to associate with the new words and phrases you're learning. It's a big value add for visual learners. Okay, so my second win for Memrise is their spaced review system. Personally, I think Memrise is very smart about how they call back words and phrases periodically to help transfer them to your long-term memory. Just about every learning science study ever done has shown that spaced review works, and Memrise leans into this really hard. Every session, Memrise will pull back in old phrases you've learned to have you review them. And they even use this cool little flower icon to show how far you've come in learning new words. A new word will start as a seed, and every time you review that word, it will show the little flower growing and growing until it's in full bloom, meaning you should know that word with no hesitation or recall at all. It's kind of a silly little feature, but I like it alongside their spaced review system. Then lastly, one really unique thing that Memrise does, which I like, is their user-generated courses. I haven't seen any other language apps offer this. Basically, Memrise allows users to create their own courses on specific topics with exercises, videos, and new vocab. And the cool thing is that most of the user-generated courses cover really niche topics you otherwise wouldn't learn vocab for, like terminology for holidays, local food, movies, art, etc. You get some really specialty courses which I think are great for building out your vocab base once you've achieved an intermediate to advanced level of fluency. But anyway, that about does it for the detail in this comparison, so let's get to my closing thoughts. Between these two language apps, if you're trying to select just one to study with, in my eyes, it's not even really a competition. Pimsleur is a far superior program. With their in-depth audio lessons, reinforcement drills, voice coach feature, and supplemental tools, it's just a much more comprehensive language program. To me, Memrise is more of a flashcard type app built around vocab. I like it for what it is, but it's hard to imagine becoming truly fluent just using this app alone. To me, a better approach would actually be combining the two. I actually think that would make a lot of sense here. Use Pimsleur for your mainstay learning program, and then fill in the gaps with Memrise's quick hit vocab drills and flashcards. That would be a nice way to develop your grammar and speaking skills while also building a nice base of new words and phrases. And anyway, that's all I got for you. I hope this video was helpful and you learned a little something about both Pimsleur and Memrise. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. And again, if you want to see that full, detailed written comparison that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content out there. But as always, thank you for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you next time.